It was the launch we were all waiting for, the Ranger Raptor. It was meant to arrive before its standard Ranger siblings, but due to unforeseen or maybe foreseen circumstances, it didn't happen. Well, until now. We're in Namibia with a 3-day epic launch of this beast to see what it can do. Ford Performance developed this next-gen model and call it the ultimate performance derivative that is built to dominate the desert, master the mountains, and rule everywhere in between. Usually, I start my reviews speaking about the exterior and then the interior. But this time, I'm starting this review talking about the engine because that's the most exciting part about this new Raptor. Gone is the 2-litre turbo diesel with its 157 kilowatts of power and 500 newton meters of torque. And in its place is a 3-litre twin-turbo petrol V6 engine. It's got 292 kilowatts of power and 583 newton meters of torque. What I really love about this new Raptor is it has like a host of sort of technology teammates, if you will, that make you look like a hero, whether you're sort of driving along gravel or hurtling over dunes. This car makes you look like you really know what you're doing. Actually more about the car than it is about the driver. The bones are made up of a Watts-Link rear end and Fox 2.5-inch live valve internal bypass shock absorbers. This suspension is meant to be able to basically have this hurtle into the air, this 2.4-ton beast, and land comfortably and safely. And anything that can do that, I think, is doing a pretty fantastic job. And talk about fun, albeit a little bit gimmicky, it is this button on the steering wheel, which is the exhaust sounds. Now, Ford says that it can go from mild to wild, and it is kind of true. So you click this and you can go up to Baja, which is your loudest, most aggressive sound. Right now I'm in that mode, as you can hear, it's quite a drone. And when you really give it horns, it's actually quite thrilling. This enables rapid delivery of boost on demand by keeping the turbochargers spinning for up to 3 seconds after the driver backs off the throttle. So often, new generations look rather similar to the outgoing one. Well, there is no mistaking the old Raptor for this new one. That dominating Ford grille with C-clamp LED lights makes the front end of this car look as wide as is humanly possible for a vehicle. Matrix LED headlights with LED daytime running lights make their debut on this model. It ships as standard with 17-inch all-terrain tires, the best size for off-roading in my opinion. This is where the magic really happens. Now, if you've watched my Ranger video, you'll be quite familiar with this interior. But there are a few things that just shout performance, like these new jet fighter-inspired sport seats. They're in the front and the rear. They are supposedly more comfortable. I wouldn't say that about the rear seats though, but they do help with the high-speed cornering. You know, they grip you quite well. Then you've got these orange accents all around and some ambient lighting, which obviously we can't see now because it's in the daytime. The large 12-inch touchscreen infotainment system, as well as the 12.4-inch digital cluster, make for a very digitalized cabin. There is Ford's new generation Sync 4A connectivity and entertainment system, Apple and Android wireless connectivity, wireless charging, Type A and Type C USB ports, a 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, a 360-degree camera with split-view display, and a dedicated off-road sync screen that allows the driver to toggle selected 4x4 features such as hill descent control and the electronic diff locks. When it comes to safety, the Raptor has it all going on. From electronic stability control with traction control, hill launch assist, and a lane keeping system to adaptive cruise control, pre-collision assist with dynamic brake support, forward collision warning, and automated emergency braking. There's even the fully automatic active park assist 2.0, which helps with those tight spaces at the press of a button. The new Ranger Raptor is priced at just over R1 million. And now, that makes it the third most expensive bakkie in South Africa. But when you consider that the previous generation cost around 900,000 Rand and it only had the 2-litre twin-turbo diesel engine in it, with this having the 3-litre, and also, of course, this is more styling, more tech, well, actually, it probably could have cost a little bit more. I think what makes the Raptor so special is that it does everything that a bakkie should do, but it's a hell of a lot of fun doing it. And I'm not sure you can put a price on that.
Welcome back to Ignition GT. If an off-road vehicle has any shortcomings, the Namib Desert's unforgiving terrain will reveal it in no time. But Ford's new Ranger Raptor took everything the desert could throw at it in its stride, because it looked like you guys had a ton of fun. Well, we'll start with you.
Well, first off, it's probably the best bakkie I've ever driven. Really, I like performance cars.
Yeah.
This is bakkie, but performance. Sounds great, drives great, and it's just a lot of fun. And it looks the part.
It does.
It looks the way it should.
Yeah.
It looks, and at almost double the power of the previous Raptor.
Yeah.
No one's going to be left unsatisfied.
It's 298 to 292. I mean, 292 kilowatts. That is MCAR AMG level of power in a bakkie. Brendan, what do you think about it? Do you think it's too much? Do you think that South Africans are going to love it?
First Raptor, when it launched, rewired our brains as to what a bakkie could do in terms of handling and suspension. It was the first time you had Fox competition suspension underneath. You could literally ramp it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had one with the wheels this high off the ground.
Oh, my word.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And you can land it safely. No one dies. There's no blood and guts flying. It's safe.
Yes.
This car comes and then sort of rewires things again. It was my first time in Namibia. The most incredible dunes you've ever seen in your life. One of the dunes, 3/4 throttle, 4,500 RPM, like 400 meters up a dune. And just before you get to the top, you're doing 140 k's an hour.
Oh, my word.
This just...
like you say, you're recalibrating
So the
your brain.
Ford Ranger Raptor,
Yeah.
I think, is our first super bakkie. Actual real super bakkie.
And we're just getting a taste of actually what's out there in the likes of America and all that, with the Rams and all that. Pricing, however, I do think is going to even again play into Ford's favor, because it came out at 1.1 million.
Yep.
1.095 basically.
Which is crazy. And we have to make this comparison because we owe it to the consumer. That is smack bang or very similar to what you'll pay for a top of the range Amarok. But the only difference is you're going to pay, that's 184 kilowatts, and it's an Amarok. It doesn't have the whole street cred of the Ranger Raptor. So in essence, do you think that this is going to be the best bakkie we've currently got in our country for a long time? Because I don't see anyone catching up anytime soon.
Yes. Not as a utility vehicle, but as a leisure vehicle, yes.
And you think there'll be a bit of a blend of both? Because at the same time, I hear the interior is quite lovely. I hear that, you still got enough space. I hear it's a bit snug at the back, but overall, it still does what a bakkie should do, which is what people with bakkies want to do with them.
I use them a lot. I tow caravans, etc., etc. I drove back from Namibia.
Yes.
So we left Namibia on the Wednesday. We arrived back on the Saturday. 1,000, I was just close to 2,000 Ks. It is superbly comfortable. Wow. The suspension is probably a bigger portion of the recipe than what the motor is.
Okay.
But maybe there's a little bit of a responsibility for a buyer. Going, dude, it's 300 kilowatts. If you buy a 300 kilowatt
Anything.
anything,
Yeah.
there's a sense,
You have to have a,
sense of responsibility.
The
Have you
laws of
had-
physics still apply.
Exactly.
Would you say that this bakkie is it that hectic? Should I be nervous when we have it on test? Put it that way.
No.
It's still a bakkie. It's still high off the ground.
Yeah.
It's still heavy. I
Okay.
mean, it's what, almost 2.5 tons,
Yeah, it's heavy.
2.4 tons. With all the power, it has the fancy Fox suspension, but physics do still apply.
And it's on an off-road tire. If you want to go sell your GTI
Yeah.
or your 330D, you
Yeah.
want to sell the 330D and the missus says, I want a bakkie.
Yeah.
You buy this.
This is by far the most fun.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had such raving reviews about a vehicle on the show. So it just goes to show that this is really something special.